All for the same old tricks like the New York Knicks who want ball on the Heat.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. We are AWG and we are back with another reaction video. So today we're going to be reacting to a short that I was watching, looking for reaction videos, and I just kind of want to give our opinions and see what y'all think.
Yeah, I've never seen this video. You know, he just be popping out with videos out of nowhere, and
I'm the video idea maker person of the business, so
yeah.
that's like my job. Me scrolling is really me doing my job, so I'm better than y'all. 2026, let's go. All right, yeah, but no,
who is
this? I forgot his name, but he is a.
Is that his name?
No, this is a random person's account. It's not Preston. Preston Perry's a different person. He's really good as well, but he is someone that I've been watching for faith videos and was watching for like certain relationship videos as well. So I know that he has a lot of wisdom, and I seen a snippet of the video, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna react to it. So let's listen.
Listen to determines the future you experience. So maybe we need to take inventory of the voices we have
We all know the one and only Pastor Philip Michael Anthony.
in our lives. God asked Adam and Eve this question: who told you? Yeah. You were naked. Yeah. Who told you you were depressed? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you that? Oh.
Go back a couple seconds because I was talking. All right, shut up.
You were naked. Yeah. Who told you you were depressed? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you that? Or when Jesus was in the wilderness being tempted, and the devil said to him, "It is written." And then Jesus turned back to him and says, It is written. The devil says it is written. Jesus said it is written. You got to know the difference.
Come on. So let's get grainier for a second. How do you know the difference? Because I know people want to know this. We get this question.
What's your answer?
How do people know
What
the
do you
difference?
think that? What do you think the difference, or how do you notice the difference between God's voice and our flesh's voice and the devil's voice, or the temptations?
I guess the biggest
For
thing,
you personally.
for me, I think the biggest thing is like, does it go against the word? Like, in a straightforward sense, like, whenever you look at, like, we'll use marriage for one, right? A lot of like, okay, I think for me, I think the solidifying act of being married, like after you get all the paperwork and the ceremony, etc., I feel like you're still not married yet. Once you have sex, then you are married with that person. But I feel like a lot of people will be like, okay, well, if that's just the case, then me just having sex is getting married, and I don't need to get the government and etc. involved, right? And I feel like a lot of people put that in their head. I put that in my head, and etc. Right? And it sounds biblical because it's in the word, you know, because it says, I forgot who the two were, but they entered a tent or whatever the case may be,
Right.
and then they had sex, and then they were not married. There was no ceremony, there was no anything. And I was also thinking in my head, and I was also watching all these other people on TikTok or whatever. They're talking about, yeah, you don't need to go through this ceremony, but it's like they're also from different countries, and if you're from different countries, you'll have different laws. But the reason I found out that it went against God's word is because getting married is you have to follow the laws of your government. It says that within the word, and I completely skipped past that, right? It says there's laws that are set up. So I think that that's like the biggest thing is, you can tell the voice, you can tell the difference. For me is, does it actually go against God's word? I mean, is it actually God's word, or are you just twisting some of the word, whatever the case may be, and whatever it is? I feel like a lot of times when God speaks to you, he just tells you, honestly, most of the time he tells you things that you don't want to do.
No, facts.
I think it just tells you things that you don't want to do, but you know that will benefit you, but you don't want to do it. Like, you're like, let's just use like stop smoking, for example. He will continuously tell you to stop smoking, and then you'll be like, nah, like that's not him. That's not him. Because even though you know doing it would benefit you, but you don't do it because you don't want to give it up. But why do you know that's going to benefit you? And that's because it's God telling you to stop.
For me personally, it goes along with what you said as well. If it doesn't align with the Bible, then I automatically know that it's not God. But also, if it's not honoring Him in positive, like a lot of the times we randomly we're driving by a homeless person and we're like give them all our money or give them I just went to Waterburger like a few days ago, and I bought me and Cash some food, me and my dog some food. And I bought like 2 big chicken wraps for Cash, and then I bought me a double meat. And I saw this homeless person, and I just kept hearing in my head, give him the chicken sandwich, give him the chicken sandwich, give him the chicken sandwich. I'm like, but I don't want my chicken sandwich. And then give him the chicken sandwich. I'm like, and I'm not gonna lie, I was wrestling with God a little bit because I was like, is it just me? Like sometimes we like to get in our head. And we like to be like, is this just me? Am I just saying this to say this? Am I trying to do something? Am I trying to prove something to God? And that's kind of what was going in my head was like, am I just doing this to do this? Or is this actually God in my head? But like I said, if it's positive, if it honors Him, and if it also goes with the Bible, then it's Him. It's not really nothing more to say. Just like you said, when you hear something like, stop smoking, and then you contradict that. Like if you hear something good and you contradict that, then that's obviously something that you want to do.
Think about it like this, right?
Like,
it's
like
going
against it.
Think about it like this, right? It's like let's say you're in a relationship, right? And then your girlfriend makes you mad, right? I feel like a lot of men struggle with this. I think every man has struggled with this. You're in a relationship, your girlfriend makes you mad, whatever the case may be, right? Some people obviously may not go cheat or whatever the case may be, but some people will go look at porn. Some people will go look at these things.
Or they might emotionally cheat.
Corn.
Or they might flirt with other girls.
Or they might flirt with other girls, right? But their intention isn't to hurt their girlfriend or whatever the case may be. They're like, in their head, they're like, it's okay for me to do this because she hurt me. That's what will fuel them to be able to do that thing, right? But very clearly that's against the Bible because Bible says that whenever it comes to love or whatever the case may be, it's sacrificing your own feelings to do what's right. So like that's one of the things that you'll consciously tell yourself that, oh, this is right. Like this makes a lot of sense. Like she did this to me or he did this to me. I could do this to them. Like it's okay for me to do this. I should have the right to my feelings. And the Bible will tell you like, yeah, you will have feelings or etc. And people will stop there. But it doesn't say, yeah, you're not supposed to act off of your feelings. People don't say that. People don't say, they don't continue on. They don't be like, oh yeah, but I'm not supposed to act on my feelings. Darn it. I think that a lot of us fail with this. Like, I think that a lot of us fall to this or whatever the case may be. But, like I was saying is, like, that's an example of how that's an example of how you'll tell yourself that you're like, oh yeah, like I'm right whenever you're not. And it just sounds justified.
Go ahead.
All the time. How do you know the difference between the voice of God, your voice, and the voice of the enemy?
Everybody in this room has been corrupted by sin. Your thoughts have been corrupted by sin. Your intellect has been corrupted by sin. Your heart has been corrupted by sin. So you'll hear things in your head that is antithetical to truth. So let me tell you something right now. God will never tell you to do anything that goes against His word. Right? And some of y'all have listened to preachers and people on podcasts and read books of people telling you stuff on social media. Say God told them, no, you didn't, you lie. God would never tell you to do anything that goes against. So one of the ways to safely determine if God is speaking to you is, does it line up with His word? If it does not line up with His word, then we know for a fact He has not spoken. Also, too, when God speaks, it bears witness with your spirit. When His spirit speaks to your spirit, something bears witness. You feel this peace, this sense of assurance that you have.
Facts, though, because, like I was saying, when you're, like, imagine being told to do something. Are you feeling peace when you are being told to do something and you're acting on that? Or are you feeling, like, not negative energy, but like that conviction.
Yeah.
You know that conviction feeling when you're like, oh dang, I need to do this. Like I don't want to have a choice. Like, but you can go ahead.
Heard from God, right? Like you felt like something, you've heard God on the inside, and then you have this supernatural peace, this assurance. There is a testimony of your spirit to God's spirit that God has spoken. And when God...
Okay. Low-key, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I felt this whenever it came to me marrying my wife. So, like, I remember praying the prayer, and I remember asking God and telling him and just really, really talking to him about it, right? And then I told my wife that I wanted to marry her. Crazy. It was out of nowhere, out of the blue, crazy. Relationship had only been going for like 8 months, I think, at that point. And
hey, God ain't got no time.
And I had told her, and she was like, "Well, this is a lot." And I just remember being like, "Oh my gosh, like, what if like this doesn't go the way that I hope to?" And I just remember feeling like this peace out of nowhere and happiness, like everything is going to be okay. And I remember waiting, and then she like texted me back, and she was like, "Yeah, like I think that we should get married." And when I saw that, I was like, "So is this the peace? Like, is this why? Like, I wasn't supposed to worry about anything?" And so I think that, and then also like just a fun fact is, you know, a lot of people will say like it's a superstition or whatever. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but whenever it rains after your wedding, like literally right after your wedding, apparently it's like a blessing from God. And funny enough,
That's crazy.
it rained right after my wedding.
I mean,
Right after, like everything went fine. It was sunny. Everything went fine, and then literally right after, like we kissed and we were about to take like one picture, literally raindrops started coming in and everything. So
nah, I definitely was.
he was. I mean, he was there. So like, yeah, that's like an entire. Apparently, that's an entire superstition.
As soon as
I'm not sure, but like literally as soon as the wedding was done,
not even done. It wasn't even over. We were packing up.
Yeah, we were packing. Yeah, we were packing up, and boom, rain. And then
We weren't even packing up. We were just moving to the bottle ceremony.
oh yeah, we were. Yeah,
We were literally just moving everything to the.
we were moving. Yeah, and then it was just like, and my pastor said it. And my the other young adults pastor said it. He was like, yeah, you know, like a lot of things like this is like a blessing from God and stuff like that. And I was like,
That's crazy.
what? And just our journey of marriage and how much of a better person it's made me, how much I've seen her change, how much we've changed, or whatever the case may be. I think there's a lot of positive that came out of it, and I think that God designed it that way. So, just want to put that out there.
speaks, peace follows. That's why Colossians says, man, let peace rule in your heart,
right.
leading every decision to be made to the point where I know I have peace from making that decision. So we know that when God has spoken, there is peace. When God has spoken, there is a witness, a bearing of witness. And when God has spoken, we know it lines up with his word. That's good. Back to Ephesians.
No, I think that entire interaction.
Man, them two people, bro. Oh
No,
my.
dude, Pastor was it Anthony Phillips?
Yeah, you could just call him Pastor Anthony or Pastor Philip.
Pastor Anthony, bro. Like there was this. Okay, so I'm a very logical person.
Keep it real.
I'm a logical person, and I remember one video was like an edit of him, and he was basically explaining like they're like, yeah,
Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, not Michael Mitchell.
So like they were, and he was talking about the Bible being written and stuff like that, and they were like, yeah, how do you trust a book written by man? Da 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 da. And then he was like, well, this book was written by it was written by multiple men during different ages of time, and how on earth is there one unity of thought that made this Bible whenever we can't do that nowadays? It's an impossibility.
Atheists just want God to be like, hey, poof, Bible.
Like it was like, yeah, like, but like the way God does things, it's
all
beyond
intentional.
it's beyond our understanding.
It's all intentional.
It's all intentional. So like, but yeah, so like it's whenever I remember watching that edit, and I was just like, bro,
I just had a conversation.
This guy's cool.
I just had a conversation with one of my coworkers, and it got a little heated. It wasn't like we were like
Oh, I had a conversation with mine, but
going at each other, like fighting at each other, but we were like passionate about it.
yeah.
And he was an atheist, and I was like, see, the thing about you atheists is y'all just want God to just show y'all everything and just poof everything. And when I was like, have you ever played video games? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you get the first start of why the video game started and everything? No, the game just starts. There is no explanation. There is no nothing. Like, I feel like truthfully, God did everything for a reason. He, just like Job, just like Peter, just like everybody in the Bible, there was a reason for those things to happen. There was a person that story like every story in the Bible goes with something in this generation.
Yeah.
Every single story.
I think, and then like, okay,
That's
so
for a reason.
I had a conversation with my coworker at work.
Big booty.
Shout out to her for being so listening. She definitely had some good points that I definitely understood, and sometimes I had to say I don't know, but it was definitely good to speak about it, and she was very, like I said, she was a very good listener. But essentially, we were talking about like how we were talking about like the Bible, and she was speaking that she was an atheist. And the first thing I said is, I was like, I believe that we are too stupid to be atheist. And I was like, that doesn't just go for you. I was like, that goes for me too. I was like, I think everyone's too stupid to be atheist. I was like, claiming that you're an atheist, not saying that atheists are literally stupid, but I'm saying claiming that you're an atheist is saying that you know how the universe was created. Now, saying you're an agnostic, I much more respect you, because saying you're an agnostic is saying that I don't know if there is a God, I don't know if there isn't a God, I don't know, I don't choose to follow any of it, or whatever the case may be, but I just simply can't, I don't want to follow something that I truly don't 100% know. Makes sense, cool, agnostic's cool. Atheist, I just couldn't understand them, because I'm like, if you know how, you're claiming that you know how the universe is made, right? But we were having this conversation, and one of the questions that she asked me is like, if God knew all of these things were going to happen, why did he let it happen? And I was like, well, because he gave us free will. And then she was like, yeah, but if he knew that it was going to happen, why? Like, the dinosaurs created them, and then they went extinct. And I was like, well, sin was still in the world at that point. I was like, think about it like this, right? I was like, if God controlled everything like we were puppets, would that really show love? And she didn't understand. And I was like, think about it like this. If I have my wife, and I'm married to her, whatever the case may be, right? And I'm forcing her to love me. She's not choosing to love me. I'm forcing her.
Every week you give a
like, yeah, I'm forcing her to love me. I'm forcing her to treat me right. I'm forcing her to do this. Does she actually love me? Like, if I'm forcing them to do these things? So, like, God's the same way. God's like, I want to have a relationship with you. So, like, I'm not going to force you to do all these things. And another thing that I had recently battled somebody, spiritually battled somebody on Snapchat, and their claim was that God basically, oh man, hold on, I gotta remember. It was about a video game. I used an analogy for a video game, and it was about something with creating evil, right? They're like, oh yeah, well, God created evil. Well, he didn't create evil. Evil was a product of us being able to have free will. Look at it like this, right? If I play a video game, and I'm the developer of a video game, my intention is for there to be no hacks within this video game. My video game has the intention of just for you to play the game and enjoy the game. That's what my intention was when I created the video game. I did not create any glitches. I did not create any hacks. Someone comes in and plays this video game. By their own free will, they are choosing to hack the game. Now, I can make it to where they can't hack the game, but then I'm just making a movie. I'm not making a video game anymore. You're not playing as the character anymore. You're not allowed to have any customizations towards the game. It's just a movie. You're
imagine Detroit becomes human with one choice.
Yeah, with one choice. You don't get the choice. You just you can't hack the game or whatever the case is. You're given a PlayStation that you can't touch, that you can't do anything with, and you literally are told exactly what way to walk or whatever. If you walk outside that way, you die. Is that game gonna be fun?
You remember when I asked you, were you having those Christian debates on your TikTok?
Yeah.
One of those Christian debates that I was listening to, this man, first off, everybody that be doing Christian debates, I'm not everybody. Most people that I see on my For You page that are doing Christian debates are, I swear, rage baiting. But he was basically saying, right, could God make an alternate universe where everybody chooses good but still has free will to choose bad? Exactly.
That's a self-defeating argument.
Exactly. He kept harping on it. And I'm like, bro, what do people be reading and listening to?
Yeah, no, it's a self-defeating argument. I mean, I can see that that's being trying a gotcha,
but
essentially.
But there's a purpose for it.
The definition of free will makes it to mean that if you're saying that, oh yeah, couldn't God just make a universe where they chose to still have free will, but they always chose good? There's no free will. There's no free will. The free will is gone. Free will is the ability to have the will to do something that you want to do. If I want to go and beat up somebody, I have the free will to do that. Does it make it right? No, I have the free will to do it. But if I didn't have the free will to do it, that means I also don't have the free will to do a job I want to do. Maybe I want to be a producer. Maybe I want to make videos. Maybe I want to be an engineer. But if I don't have free will, I can't have that choice. So you could still have free will and make good choices. But having the access to free will gives you the access to make bad choices. And the only reason that we do make bad choices is because we have sin. Beforehand, God's plan for us was essentially to be like.
But we also didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't. And we
also didn't know. Like, for the past, 20 years, all of us that weren't fully Christians, that weren't reading the Bible and following Jesus Christ, we all were sinning unknowingly.
Yeah.
And then, now that we, are finally giving our life to Christ, now that's what the layers pulling, Jesus Christ pulling back layers of the sin that you have slowly but surely, because you've been doing this for 20 years, unknowingly. Now that you're doing it knowingly, it's different.
Yeah.
But we have been doing videos for too long.
So
the last video was 30 minutes and the video before that was 40. So we have a timer and we are about to go over that timer.
Yeah. So
thank y'all for watching.
Thank you for watching. If y'all have any questions, let us know.
Comment concerns. Comment your opinion.
Comment things that
your debate.
Anything that you want us to clear up.
Comment if y'all want. Hey, matter of fact, if y'all want us to react to a certain video, email us, and the email will be in the description.
But we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.
Aight.
'Cause I trust in you.